As I approach the actual balcony space, please tell me where you see a camera here. Welcome on board the Royal Caribbean Symphony of the Seas, one of the largest cruise ships in the world. I'm Morgan from the very unofficial travel guides. I travel all around the world to popular and not so popular tourist destinations to give you a very honest, unofficial look at what it's like to be there. I also wrote a book called Getting Stitches on a Cruise Ship, filled with incidents that have happened to me around the world, including getting stitches on a cruise ship very similar to this one. Like I said, I'm on the Symphony of the Seas. That whole incident happened on the Harmony of the Seas, which at the time was also the largest cruise ship in the world. So if you like to hear about things going right and horribly wrong while traveling, check out Getting Stitches on a Cruise Ship. This is actually the third Oasis class ship from Royal Caribbean that I have cruised on. First one was the Harmony, where I got the stitches in my foot. Second one was the Wonder, which was not too long ago, just a couple months ago actually. Now we're here on the Symphony, and after our cruise on the Wonder of the Seas, I made a video which became pretty popular called The Worst Cruise Ship Balcony Cabins. And it was about the balcony cabins on this class of ship from Royal Caribbean that don't face out to the ocean, they face to the inside of the ship. All right, so if you've never been on one of these classes of ship before, or maybe never been on a cruise ship before, the Oasis class has what they call neighborhoods. They are outside areas on the ship, but they are surrounded by ship. I can show you here, this is the Central Park area. This is the area that really has no view of the ocean whatsoever. Some people enjoy booking these balconies because they say they don't need a view of the ocean. They would rather be able to do some people watching. They like to listen to the crickets at night. They like to listen to the live music that's happening down there or up on the pool deck. And some people really enjoy these cabins. The other inside-outside area is called the boardwalk. Some of these balconies, depending on how far back they are in the ship, will also have a view of the ocean, somewhat obstructed by the ultimate abyss slides and the theater construction back there. By the way, if you are into cruise ship cabins and want to learn more about the cabins on this ship and the other Oasis class ships, I was lucky enough to get to do a cabin crawl, and I got to see not only what it's like when you book two adjoining cabins and then leave all the doors open to make it like a do-it-yourself suite, but I also got to see the biggest suite on board, and I can't wait to show you that. Just spoiler alert, it's 2 levels and it has a slide. There's a slide in a cruise ship cabin. So make sure you're subscribed and check back in a couple weeks for those. Some of the boardwalk balcony cabins, like I said, will have a view of the ocean, but they are all on the inside, and these cabins have they don't have any privacy, to tell you the truth. Because of the way the ship is structured, the people from the balconies on the other side can see onto your balcony, and everybody who's up on the pool deck or in the buffet or on the sports deck can also look down at any time, see what you're doing on your balcony, and see possibly into your cabin, depending on the angle and what the light is like. So I made a whole video sort of exposing that. It's not a secret, people know about it, but I made the video about it. And saying that a big reason for me to not book those cabins is because of the lack of privacy. And on that video, I got a handful of comments from people who were convinced that it doesn't matter where your balcony is on the ship because the cruise lines have cameras everywhere, and that anything you do on any balcony can be seen at all times. And I have to say, I disagree with that. I'm gonna prove it to you in this video, but before we get to the proof and before I show you my view right now, which is pretty nice, let's read some of those comments, shall we? First comment is from Chris PNW. Chris writes, LOL, there is no privacy anymore anywhere. Full stop. If a person wants to bathe in the nude or nude lewd on their balcony, expect to be recorded. Security cameras are everywhere, and I would not be surprised if the ship security crew have a video of favorite bits floating around, as disturbing as that may be. If you've ever been gifted by a cruise couple who thought it was a smart idea to consummate their cruise on a balcony, you would want all balcony activity banned. So Chris is convinced that there are cameras facing at every balcony on the entire ship. Like I said, I'm gonna prove you that's wrong, but I have some more comments I wanna go through here. Next comment is from Chuck Rothy. Chuck writes, privacy on balconies, LOL. There are cameras everywhere. even along the sides of all the ships. There is no privacy on balconies, any of them. Remember that. And the final comment here is from Linny C. Linny writes,
Pretty sure there is CCTV on the balconies.
I'm sorry if I didn't get your voice right, and now probably nobody's ever gonna leave a comment again on my channel, but hey, at least we had fun up until this point. So my answer to these comments and my people who are worried that there are cameras everywhere on every ship that can see the balconies is, it's actually a yes and no. There are cameras pointing at all the balconies. However, there are not cameras pointing at all the balconies. Let me just show you what I mean. There you have a view of our ocean view balcony on deck 7 of the Symphony of the Seas. And as I approach the actual balcony space, please tell me where you see a camera here. I'm looking all the way up. There's no camera there. There is a device here, but that's not a camera, that's a speaker. And I don't believe that there is a camera like somehow hidden in there. I don't think that is how Royal Caribbean gets down. And if I look over on this side, I see no camera. And all the way over to this side, also, no cameras out there. So tell me, where am I being recorded from? Well, like I said, there are cameras facing at the balcony, and maybe this is where the misconception comes from, and I'll show you where they are. There. Do you see all the way down there at the end? I'll try to zoom in for you. That's where there are cameras. And the cameras are positioned there so they can see if something goes flying off the ship, like a deck chair or a towel or somebody's soon-to-be ex-wife or husband. They're not there to record everybody's balcony at all times. And since I'm out here on the balcony, all the way at the edge, I'm gonna look up and see that there is some ship kind of hanging over my balcony. But honestly, I don't see any cameras up there. And if there was a camera, it would only be able to see me when I was at the very edge of my balcony here and not on most of the balcony. There are cameras facing directly at the balconies in Central Park and on the boardwalk. And my theory is, if somebody throws a deck chair off of ocean view balcony, then it's not good that it lands in the ocean, but it just lands in the ocean. If somebody throws a chair off of a Central Park view balcony, it's gonna hit somebody and maybe there's gonna have to be a criminal investigation. I don't know. What do you think about this? Let me know in the comments below why you think they actually do have cameras facing these balconies and not the ocean view balconies. So I'm curious now, is this something that after you saw this changed your mind about the way that the cruise lines monitor what happens on the sides of the ships? Are you one of the people who thought that there were literally cameras facing inside of every balcony and that you have no privacy on a ship? Or are you one of the people that realize, okay, yeah, there are places where you can be seen by cameras, but there are also places where you literally have complete privacy. Of course, the way these balconies are set up, it would be easy, very easy for somebody to just sort of look around the corner. So you need to consider what you want to be doing on your balcony, how you want to be doing it, and maybe how loud you want to be doing it. But here on the Very Unofficial Travel Guides today, I hope I prove to you that you do have privacy on your balcony unless it is a balcony with a view of Central Park or the boardwalk. Like I said, there are going to be a ton of cabin tours coming up here on the channel, not only from this normal balcony cabin here, but also from bigger balcony cabins, from junior suites, mini suites.
There are going to be all kinds of suites,
which are places that I usually don't have access to. And I think a lot of you out there also cruise sort of in the same budget that I cruise in. And so this was just an exciting thing to look at. And maybe if you're considering Like for me, it would have to be like a splurge, once in a lifetime thing to stay in one of these huge crown loft suites upstairs with the double levels and the stairs and the slides and things like that. So maybe these upcoming videos will help you decide if it's really worth it, or if you're like, nah, let's just do 5 more cruises instead of 1 cruise in those. So like I said, be sure to check back for those and make sure you're subscribed down there. If you haven't done it already, please press that thumbs up before you go, because somehow that's supposed to help with this YouTube algorithm thing. Oh, and speaking of the YouTube algorithm, I have to make a really dramatic thumbnail because that helps too, so there you go. Thanks for spending this time of your YouTube viewing time with me, and I hope to see you back here soon. Bye-bye.